Good day everybody, Chief Instructor Grayzy from No Limits Bushcraft and Survival.
And James, Assistant Chief Instructor.
And after a successful course with the Army Cadet up the North East with Callum, I've then driven down to Shropshire to meet James to do a training weekend. And we've been kindly invited down here by James from Spirited Adventure, who's going to be joining us very soon. So until he gets here, let's do some training.
We've spent the night here with Spirited Adventure, and unfortunately for us, the weather is really wet. So as you can see, it has been raining quite a lot during the night. Now a lot of the wood that we have here is wet, so I've had to do some wet weather fire drills, cut into the core wood, and as you guys all know, fire making is 90% prep, so I've already prepared everything that I need, and hopefully we'll get a fire this morning. Otherwise me and Grayzy are going hungry and we won't have any hot coffee. So let's see what happens, shall we? So here we have, this is finely pulled apart jute, and then inside I've got some char cloth, which I'm going to use that to take the spark from a flint and steel, and then I've got a torn up cotton wool bud, and also inside I've got shavings from my dust tin that we sell at Northern Limits in here. And also I bought with me a fatwood stick, and I've put shavings of fatwood inside. So what I'm doing is I'm giving myself the maximum chance of getting this fire going, because I want to get it going first time, and if it fails then I'm going to scream inside. So let's get this going, and let's get warm. I've got here a piece of flint, and this is my striker, and we've got some char cloth. So all I'm aiming for is to hit these together at the right angle, which will create a spark, and a spark will land on the char cloth, and you'll see like a red glow in a second. And once I capture that ember, I will then feed it with some oxygen to make it grow a little bit bigger. I will then put it into that bird's nest, and then we'll get ourselves some fire.
And there's that the microscopic particles striking the flint to then get super hot, and then around 800 degrees Fahrenheit to hit the char cloth. Yes, it is. Still. Yeah, it's nearly as fiery as your beard is. Look how ginger his beard is.
Yeah, I'm really ginger. Ow. So just folding this over like so. You want to fold over your bird's nest so it brings all the fibres together. See that smoking? So that means we've got a good chance of setting this alight. There we go. You just turn that over. Oh.
Add an extra oxygen at the fire triangle.
Ta-da! We have fire. So even if you have wet wood, my tip for today is cut into the core wood where it's dry. So shave off all the wet wood on the outside, cut into the dry stuff in the middle, and then make shavings out of that. Alternatively, you can make feather sticks and use that to get your fire going in wet weather. Remember, fire is 90% prep. So prepare all your materials beforehand to make sure, whoa, smoke. Make sure you have enough to get the fire going. I've got so much smoke in my eyes. And then, right, now I've got smoke up my eyes. Prepare your fire before you make it, basically. Have all your materials good to go. Make sure that your kindling and your tinder is super dry. And then start your fire in whatever means that you see fit. I've used some fat wood. Fat wood is saturated in resin, and that is, I always use that for getting fire going when it's in dry, wet conditions, just because it's super flammable and it assists me in getting breakfast and getting warm. So yeah, get out there and practice. Don't wait till the weather is dry. Get out there and practice also in the rain.
Time for coffee, ladies and gentlemen. First thing me and James do before we do anything, caffeinate. So as anything, breakfast time, and today we're going to make some sausages over the fire. Well, James is going to do the sausages, but what I'm going to have as well, because I'm starving, is I'm going to make myself some garlic mushrooms for my breakfast. Just because if any of you follow us quite regularly, everyone will always know that I always make food with garlic in it, because I absolutely love it. Keeps the vampires away, absolutely keeps the Blair Witch away, and keeps the mozzies away as well. Get all that in there. Smidge of oil, and then bang that on the fire. So first part of my breakfast, mushrooms, garlic, a little bit of oil, just to snack on while we wait for the sausages. Amazing. Anything garlicky I absolutely love, especially out in the field. And the mushrooms I just bought with us. So make some bannock and wait for them sausages to go.
Hi folks, it's James from Spirited Adventure here, and I'm joined today with Grayzy, who's on the camera, and James behind you, and these fine chaps have come down today to give me a hand underneath our little parachute in this very rainy day. We're going to do a bit of training with each other, and the first thing we've tackled is a bit of a primitive tripod set up for pot hangers over the fire, and it's gone really well.
With the pine roots that we've got and we've broken down, I'm going to make some cordage out of it. So I'm doing a 2-ply method here, where I'm putting in twists and then I'm twisting the two pieces around each other, which will make some thick cordage here, which is really strong. So all I'm doing is I'm pinching here, and you twist this piece, and these are quite thick compared to brambles, so you have to give them a few more twists, and then you come underneath and it's making this like rope type cordage. Now this stuff is super strong once you get it like this, and it does take a while to make a good amount of length, but if you sit around a fire or you're chatting with your fellow bushcraft buddies, then it's actually, you can get quite a lot done. Just practice and tell us what you think.
What are you doing, James?
Well, this is a honeysuckle vine which came off one of the pieces of hazel that we've made the tripods with. And although you can use this probably now quite well as a piece of cordage, I was wondering if it would split to get more from it. And it started well at the top, but it appears that the honeysuckle, see if I can find you one, has lots of, I'll just put my hand behind that, has lots of micro knots, if that's the right way to describe it. So you get about, there's another one there, there's one there, and then it's freed up a bit, maybe there's another one there, but the knots, when you try to split it apart, it doesn't really go beyond the knots, or you get what's happened here, it just goes really thin, and that's no good, that will just tear apart. So as a test to see if a honeysuckle vine would split, I don't know if I would bother again, or I suppose it's about selecting a better piece to see if it's got any knots in. But it's actually good enough as it is. You don't really need to split it, but it was a bit of a test really. So jury's out on it at the moment. First attempt, not very good, but we shall carry on and see what happens, I think.
How long is it now?
Well, I've spent about 15 minutes on this. I got to about this length, so not doing too bad. So we could get a pot hanger out of this, maybe. Yeah. So I'm just going to finish to the end, and then we'll see what we can do with the cordage. I'll tidy it up as well because it's got a few bits that are where I've added in strands, so you get those little bits there. So just trim those off, and then you get a nice, neat rope. So here we have it. We've got some pine tree root cordage, and to make this I've used the 2-ply method, and this length took me about 30 minutes to make, and it is super strong. I reckon I could tie this to a tree and Grayzy could hang on to it and it would take his weight. So if you want to learn how to do this, there's quite a few videos on YouTube. However, I'm planning on releasing my own video soon on how to do 2-ply cordage. You can use different resources. As I said, this one was with the pine tree roots. However, you can use things like brambles as well. That's really good because they come in really long strips. So yeah, if you're interested in making primitive rope, give it a go. 2-ply method.
Right. So you might be wondering what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm digging a hole. Why am I digging a hole? Well, we're looking for a water source in the woods, and this seems to be quite a boggy area. And what I'm going to try and do is make a surface well, or I've been reliably informed it's also known as a coyote well. So the idea is you dig a hole, I'm going to put some sticks in all the way around it, and then some sort of material behind the sticks, which is used as a filter essentially. So we're looking for these ferns which are readily available, or any grasses, and there's plenty of dead grass I can grab from over there. So I've got the mud on the outside, and probably go for 2 or 3 inches of grassy fern material, and the sticks all go in to hold that back. And then over time the water just soaks through, and you'll be able to put your billy can in or a container, and you should be able to scoop out some water. It won't be fresh, so you've still got to either filter it, but definitely boil it and make sure that it's potable water. But digging this hole now, I'm not sure how much he's going to soak through, but I'm going to carry on just to see what happens. It may not be the best site. I may have to find another location, but I've invested calories in digging the hole, so I'm going to at least finish it and see what happens. It's really hard, that. It's like bedrock. Right, 3 more. There we go. So I think we'll leave it at that and we'll see what happens. I can see it gathering at the bottom, so it's very clay soil, and it could take a while. Clay is notorious for holding on to water. It doesn't really move through the soil, it just sort of sits, but gravity is in our favour, so if it's in the clay around the sticks, the idea is it should just seep in. So we'll come back half an hour. Now, let's gently place this in here. Now, if it doesn't go up, it's more likely going to be the grass is not dry enough. Let's see. Gonna go any second. Let's just get it out of my eyes. There we go. Those sticks are a bit big.
What's this, James?
This is a bushcraft feast.
It is, isn't it? I've got to be honest.
So we have
Not one pot.
chicken, which has had, it's been infused with chili and garlic. We have potatoes. We have a mix here of onions, cheese, potato, carrot, chili, all mixed together in a big cocktail of absolute gloriness. We have one of my homegrown cucumbers. and we have some bread, and we've got some wraps. So,
and also, if you look behind you,
oh, we've got some beans.
you've got your beans, homegrown beans as well.
Homegrown beans. So yeah, my French beans, which are organic, only grown with shit, no chemicals. So yeah, we're gonna eat tonight, all the three of us. Drink loads of beer and be merry in the wild, because that's what life's all about. When the sheets come off that light.
Some of James's projects. Different pot hangers. This place is cool as, man. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's more of a highlights reel of the training weekend that we've done with James from Spirit Adventure. Thank you very much for having us down this weekend. It's greatly appreciated, and hopefully we'll be able to work together in the future. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like and share on everything to everyone. It's greatly appreciated, and for those who have returned, welcome back. It's always greatly appreciated. Well, on that subject, please find Spirit Adventure on YouTube and Facebook and on Instagram, and start following James. Outstanding guy, great content, and he's very much for education of bushcraft to everybody. James?
Well, that's very kind of you to say so, but yeah, I'd like to just say it's great to meet both of you. I've learnt a few things today over the last couple of days. It's always surprising when you see stuff and the way people do things slightly differently. So it's always good to learn stuff, and yeah, quite a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, lots of fun. So, yeah, it was great.
I appreciate that, and yeah, if you guys out there want to come and find me and find these guys, Northern Bushcraft, then yeah, happy to have you along. And I think, what do you reckon? We'll do some more stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to get some more content.
Yeah,
100%.
So then you'll come back, or then I can come up and see you guys if you have a spot somewhere.
Absolutely.
Sound. Excellent. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. What about James?
And remember, guys, you only live once, so live it in the woods.
Remember, get out, have some fun, stay safe, stay on top of your mental health. Yeah, don't stay on your screens. Get out, walk the dog, take the kids out, wherever it may be, but get outside. I'll see you next time.
Nice one.